Hello and welcome to the Dumbfounder Show. I'm the Mr. Guy. I'm Dumbfounder. So all right, let's do this. I got a lot of things on my mind today. Let's start with some fun. Well, not necessarily fun. Let's start with some Instagram posts. Wah, 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 wah. That's Instagram posts.
You can make people buy without saying a word to them. The method is called priming, and it is the reason why brands exist. Tiny hints in what people see, hear, or feel can shift their mood and decisions without them ever realizing it. For example, show a scene of comfort before selling furniture. Show happy families before promoting vacations. These little mental seeds make your offer feel right before you even place it. They plant this association in your customer's brain. And when the mind is already in the right frame, the sale feels like their own idea. So
what? Huh? What was the major point?
you can make people buy without saying a word to them.
Okay, so this is the idea that you're supposed to show them the result, the end result. So, for example, oh, I feel so. If you want to sell plane tickets, you want to sell vacations, then what? You're going to show them the joy of what it feels like to be on a vacation. You're going to show them the destination. And some people they criticize me about my Dumbfounder podcast, and they say, well, like, how is this? How are you showing people your success? Because usually people don't follow you unless they can see that you're successful, and then they're going to follow your path. And to that comment, I say, yeah, that's a good point. Also, if I'd already succeeded, I wouldn't be calling this the Dumbfounder podcast. I would be calling this the Genius podcast. So there's that. Um, yeah, I'll go deeper into this, but let's go to the next video.
Psychology says that people don't buy the product, they buy the outcome. If you're HelloFresh, you're not selling meal kits, you're selling dinner without stress. I'm going to give you a simple hack that will make people feel dumb saying no to your product. It's called the "so you can" method. Here's how it works. You take your product or feature, add "so you can," and then finish with the outcome. For example, a home alarm system so you can feel safe at night, or noise-canceling headphones so you can get your work done with no distractions. It works because you stop selling the product and start selling what your customer actually needs. So try it on your product and drop the best one in the comments.
All right, so you can solution. What am I doing? Like, who am I? What's the dumb show about? What is this dumb show about? All right, got one more video before we start talking. Let's just pop that in there again.
My students at Stanford ask me, one of the most common questions my students at Stanford ask me is, I'm stuck in a rut, what do I do? My answer is due to one of four things, and it could be a combination of these. So number one, what am I avoiding? And I need to go right at that. Number two, where do I start? Translate my goal into something very simple that I can do today. Number three, how do I win today? Just write down three things I can move forward on today and then get up and repeat that tomorrow. And number four, what are the habits that are interfering with where I want to go?
All right. Now,
one of the most.
So this guy's from Stanford. So, I mean, this is literally the issue that I talked to Tom Buchholz about after I met him, and I opened up his book. And I'm the kind of guy, when I open up a book, like, I believe in magic, whether it's religious or whether it's, I don't know, what is magic? I don't know. There's a lot of kinds of magic. For example, when I lived in Hollywood, I could feel other people's emotions. You know, I'd been through some really insane experiences when I lived in China. And then suddenly now I can feel other people's emotions. And when you can feel other people's emotions, sometimes you can feel what they're thinking. Now, I would like living here in Georgia for the last 3 years with this damn dog and owning my own apartment. I've calmed down a lot. I would say probably because of those experiences, I was kind of like really on the edge and survival mode, like when you're trying to survive, especially if you've been hurt, like going through a really difficult divorce. when you go through those extreme emotional experiences, then sometimes what happens is you become extremely sensitive to emotion because you want to protect yourself. That's how I was like 10 years ago. And then I started traveling. I lived in Russia for a couple of years. I traveled all through Africa. I traveled through Eastern Europe. And like when you're traveling, it's also survival mode. So you have to be able to like recognize danger very quickly. Like I literally got in a fight when I was in South Africa. There were two guys that they tried to steal my bags, and I had to fight my way out of it. And like one guy had a knife. So it's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when they come for you? So I would say that sometimes that emotional magic is needed if you're gonna survive. But then there's other kinds of magic. There's like faith. What about faith and hope? If we talk about religion, then a lot of times they're talking about faith and hope. What is hope? Hope is like you're looking to the future. There's something that you want. You see something and you desire that thing. And then you feed that desire with faith. What's faith? I mean, there's faith as a principle of what? Of you believe it. And then there's faith as a principle of action. So you do something about it. And then there's the magical part, which is like if you concentrate your thoughts and your emotions and your energy on one thing, it's kind of like affirmations, or it's kind of like what is it called? When you make something appear in your life. But at the end of the day, the most magical thing is daily habits. Like working at something like every single day. And that's what this guy's talking about. Like, listen to what he says.
Questions my students at Stanford ask me is, I'm stuck in a rut.
I'm stuck in a rut. Okay, number one, I'm stuck in a rut. What does that mean? He's saying that I'm feeling negative emotion and I'm not making forward progress. So it's called resistance. I feel resistance a lot. I'm laying down in my bed, I'm playing Brawl Stars, and suddenly it's like, oh, I need to be doing something. And then what happens is like I have to convince myself. So I use magic. So what I do is I imagine myself becoming lighter, and then I imagine like a rope, and I attach the rope to myself, and I start pulling on this rope. And if I can't get myself up, then I just pray. I say, God, please help me get up. And without fail, I always get up. If I can utter those words, because it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So if you ask God for help and then you don't actually physically try to put your own effort into the process, then you're negating. I mean, okay, of course. So that tells you if you believe in God or not, because you could lay there and you can say, please, God, help me, and then don't move. And then you can say, okay, well, God didn't get me up. But I'm not that kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy who says, God, please help me. And then I act.
What do I do? My answer is it's likely due to one of four things, and it could be a combination of these. So number one, what am I avoiding? And I need to go.
Okay, what am I avoiding? Now, let's jump back into this Miro board. If you've seen that I'm building a product based on a very specific framework. So my first prototype, like this is the actual prototype. This is the full version of my first prototype. And I wanted to break it down into the actual methodology. And so we have these three ideas. One is a headlight, one is a steering wheel, and one is an engine. If you are in running your business, then obviously your headlight, it's kind of like your vision. Like, where are you going? No matter what you do with your car, your headlights are always pointed in the direction that you're going. That's just the way cars work. Steering wheel is how you can change the direction of your vision. An engine is how you move toward your vision. So I built this big, in fact, the first thing I did, you can see here, see the brainstorm module, the choose module. In fact, that's the first thing that I built when I built the first version of my application. That is not the first version of my application. Where's my app? Here it is. All right, we go into projects. Let's go into the public side. All right, so here it is. You can see so we got the brainstorming module. It even says, you see, headlight is the strategy, and then S is the steering wheel, is the engine. So that's the first thing I built, was like the brainstorming module, because it helps us to understand where we're going. But most people, that's not the issue. It's like I can dream. I can dream. Everyone can dream. Like dreaming is not I can see the mountains outside of my window. I can imagine myself on those mountains. Do you know how many times I've done the 40-kilometer hike? Once. I did it once. I did it in one day. It took me 14 hours. I ran up the mountain and ran all the way back down again. It took me one day. And then it took 3 days to recover. So like the issue isn't actually brainstorming what I should be doing and making a choice about what I should be doing. And to some extent, it's not even breaking it down into like into a scoreboard. A scoreboard is what I call like a to-do list. But what you really got to figure out is like, are all the tasks done? And if you're going to get all the tasks done, it means you actually have to write those tasks down. So yeah, maybe the objectives module could be helpful for some people. Let's do a quick little review of the objectives module. All right, number one. What objective would you like to talk about? I don't know. What objective do I want to talk about? So in today's video, what I really want to talk about is like, what happens when AI takes over your job? And see, what I really want to talk about is like how to consistently produce social media content so that I can improve over time. ... if AI takes my job. Right. So the first topic is like, if you're going to be a founder, either you have to pay or you have to learn how to produce social media content. And for me, the purpose of my startup is actually so I can develop more skills producing social media content. Because the thing is like what if you have to pivot? Right? So like I've spent, 10 years working on this dream. And what is this dream about? When I was talking to Tom, basically like I was saying, I opened up his book and I can feel some magic come off of the pages. And I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And obviously there was some kind of magic, because I literally spent the last 10 years of my life reading and teaching the book and developing software based on this book and talking to people and trying to figure out how this all works. Like, what is business? How do I do business? So, okay. So then, well,
Go right at that. Number two, where do I start? Translate my goal into something very simple that I can
okay, where do I start? Translate my goal into something very simple
do today. Number three,
that I can do today. Wait a minute.
how do I win today? Just write down 3 things I can move forward on today.
Write down 3 things I can move forward on today. Like, wait a minute, this is all sounding familiar, right? Like, are all the tasks done? And if the answer is no, you go back to touch base. What's touch base? All right. I added the Cubic Connect. Well, this is Cubic Connect for building social media content. Well, it's actually Cubic Connect for learning. Now, if we go to to do, we see now we have this to do tab. It's rendering, it's compiling. I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. Oh no. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, it does work. I don't know why it says this stuff. Let's delete that. It's kind of slow right now because I'm just okay. Let's nix that, nix that, nix that, nix that. All right, so this is my new Cubic Connect. This is actually like the product that I've been dreaming about for a while. So yesterday we one prompted it. Whatever one prompt means. I learned a lot about like some of these AI models. All right, so let's start. It says nothing to do yet. Let's click plus the task. So you see what I'm doing here? Let's turn it into dark mode. You see what I'm saying here? You see the whole point to this project? It goes right back to this.
And then get up and repeat that tomorrow. And number 4, what are the habits that are interfering with where I want to go?
All right, so this is the last one. It's that's not part of my app. All right, so it's the first 3.
One of the most common questions my students at Stanford ask me is, I'm stuck in a rut. What do I do? My answer is it's likely due to one of 4 things, and it could be a combination of these. So number 1, what am I avoiding? And I need to go right at that. Number 2, where do I start? Translate my goal into something very simple that I can do today. Number 3, how do I win today? Just write down 3 things I can move forward on today, and then get up and repeat that tomorrow. And number 4.
All right, so that's the whole point of this app is like, I need to be able to simply and easily identify my tasks. I think this is, from all of my research, this is it. It's like, okay, so I just, okay, identify 3 things I need to do. Okay, so I click task. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to delete that task. All right, so if you have something that you need to do, like, okay, we could talk about, okay, so what do I need to do? I need to pick an Instagram post. And then what? What's step 1? I need to download the video. And then what? I need to get the transcript. And then what? I need to pop it into, put both into Qubit Connect engine and create a recipe. And then step number 4 is to follow the workflow that we outlined. All right, good. So for me, like, I think this is the key. You need to be able to identify a task, and then you got to break it down into steps. Because if you can do that, then it's like, okay, so what do I need to do next? So let's put dial left. The first thing I need to do is I need to download the video. And then what's the second thing I need to do? I need to get the transcript ready. All right, so let's focus on downloading the video. Well, obviously I downloaded the video because I have the video right here. So that's done. Now, I don't actually, and I do have the transcript as well, so we can just delete these. Put the both into the Qubit Connect engine and create a recipe. All right, so let's put that one into the Qubit Connect and create the recipe. And then finally, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna follow that outline. That's one task. Now, maybe we're gonna do a different task today. So let's discuss the outcomes. What is it called? It's the shoot. Delete objectives module. Discuss the objectives module. I don't like the way that this edits. All right, let's discuss the objectives module, right? Now, the problem is I can't really show you the magic of Qubit Connect. I can show you dial left and dial right, but I can't really show you Qubit and deep dive because AI can't give you the answer for these questions. Only I can give you the answer. All right, so let's keep going through this objectives module. Okay. What if you have to pivot? Right? So the whole point of like, what do you have to pivot is like, you need to develop skills. Right? Now, what's the number 1 skill? My number 1 skill is I have a process for defining objectives to pursue. Number 2, I have a process for writing out things to do. Number 3, some things to do are some things I need to learn, and others are things I need to do. 4, I have a workflow for producing social media content from things I'm learning. Right, so here you go. How can I consistently produce social media? How to consistently produce social media content so that I can improve over time if AI takes my job? So, what are the actual outcomes that I'm trying to develop here? What am I trying to get? I want coding skills. All right, but the thing is that coding skills, it's over. Like coding skills, it's game over. Because if I am able to simply and easily, like basically in one, able to build my dream app, like that is not the skill, right? So because everybody can do this. Like remember I did this in yesterday's video. I coded for a couple of hours. It wasn't actually coding for a couple of hours. It was flushing out the design. See, the issue is how did I actually come up with this design? That's the magic. What's your work process? Are you comfortable interviewing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people over many, many years in order to master some topic and then turn it into a very simple interface that everybody gets to benefit from? Maybe people don't understand the power of this machine. I mean, I tried to show you a Stanford or whatever it was, Stanford professor who says, look, I have the smartest kids in the world coming to me. They're all asking me the same thing. And what's the answer? The answer is you need to write down those 3 tasks. And then if you don't know how to do it, then you just click Qubit, right? But if you know how to do it, then write in the steps. After you've written in the steps, then you have to dial in one of those priorities or maybe 2, and then pick one. Like that's the power. That's the power. Like all of this thinking, all of this studying, all of this designing, it goes into this little teeny tiny simple interface. That's the magic. Right? So like for example, someone says like, okay, make an AI video with what? So like I want to learn high-low video. Oh, I can't paste. Interesting. Oh, I can. Okay. Make an AI video with this. Okay, so now look at this. I'm going to click Qubit, and then I'm going to click this. Let's see what it says. Navigate to Hilo AI video platform by opening this link in your web browser. Sign up or log into your account, then locate and click the Create AI Video or New Project button. Input your video script, select an AI avatar, choose a voice, and add any desired background, music, or visuals within the platform's editor. Click Generate Video button, then review the preview to ensure it meets your requirements before finalizing your exporting. You see the key here? So I literally created a tool. If you're laying in your bed and you're having a hard time imagining a rope tied around you, and if you're having a hard time imagining that your body is getting lighter and lighter, and then you start to pull yourself up, and then you cry to God and say, please help me get up, and then somehow you just fly. If that's difficult for you, because why? Because maybe you haven't just defined the exact thing which you need to be doing, then just put in a task. Get out of bed. I mean, what happens if you write get out of bed? Right? So this is a magical tool. What happens if you write get out of bed? Shift your body to a sitting position on the edge of the bed. Swing your legs over the side of the bed so your feet are dangling. Place both feet firmly on the floor beside the bed. Use your core and muscles to stand upright. Okay, I don't get it. Use your core and like muscles to stand up. I don't know how to do that. So now if you click deep dive, you can click one of the steps. You'll turn it into a new task and it'll give you the steps to do. Lean to your upper body slightly forward, shifting your weight over your feet, preparing the upward push. Engage your leg muscles, quadriceps, hamstrings, and push down through your heels to generate the power to lift your body. Simultaneously tighten your abdominal and lower back muscle core to stabilize your torso. That sounds very complicated. As you initiate the upward push with your legs, just consciously draw your navel toward your spine and brace your abdominal muscles, feeling them tighten. What? I don't get it. As your legs begin to initiate the upward motion, consciously shift your focus to your midsection. You see this? It all starts with your focus. You have to shift your focus. How do I shift my focus? As your legs start immediately, mentally disengage your primary attention from the effort being exerted by your legs. Deliberately redirect your mental spotlight and awareness to your entire abdominal region, encompassing front, sides, and lower back. See this? Maintain this focus mental presence on your midsection, mentally preparing it for subsequent engagement without yet performing any active contraction. You see, everything is always going to go back to the exact same issue: maintaining focus. Maintaining focus. All right, let's start with maintaining focus. Qubit. Minimalize digital implement time management, regular review main objectives of the task, take short intentional breaks. It's magical. So what objective would you like to talk about? Well, if I had to pivot, you see my real problem, like all this time I've been talking about like craziness and you know the real issues. So I went to China and I got myself a law degree in Chinese law. And everyone asked me the same question. They have law in China? I was like, what? But I didn't actually learn Chinese law to become a lawyer. I just wanted to speak Chinese. I didn't really care. I was just like, I want to speak Chinese. And then I went to Russia and I'm like, I want to speak Russian. And now I'm learning French. I want to speak French. It's like, what? How are you going to make money? Money? What do I need to make money for? You know? So now I'm like, oh, dang, I need to make some money. So what are you going to do if you have to pivot? You see, the whole reason I started this project was I went to Silicon Valley. I lived in Silicon Valley for a year. I went to a bunch of events, and then I could see that like basically the big companies, they're either going to acquire your technology or they're going to acquire you. So you have to join one of the teams of guys that are building something, or you have to build something that somebody else wants. Now, it doesn't matter if you're building a technology or if you're inventing something or what. Like, it doesn't matter if it's in tech or if it's like everybody, we're all doing the same thing on this earth. Either you're providing a raw material to the production process, or you're providing a service in the process of production, or you're creating something that can be used to produce. Like, that's it. Like, that's the game here. So what do you want to do? You want to make something new? You want to do something that somebody else tells you to do? Or do you want to dig? Did you guys see that on social media? There's a dude from Africa, and he's like, there's this lady, he's like, this woman is worth 120 cows. Why? Because she's strong, she can dig. I was like, exactly. You think you're better than anybody else? Dig. All right. So you think you're better. How? Okay. So you don't want to dig. Then you need to assemble. You're like, I don't want to. You don't want to work on a factory line? Okay. Then you need to invent. Now, when I say assemble, I'm also saying fix. It's just basically the same thing. Or you have to invent something. And then what happens after you invent it? Either somebody acquires the thing which you invented or they acquire you. And then once they acquire you, then you're back to assembly. So, you know. So the whole point of working in this whole process was to develop skills. What skills did I develop? I developed thinking skills, but I don't know. Now, like, see, actually, it's kind of ridiculous. So like because there's already lots of to-do apps. So I just realized like I spent all these years like developing this thing and then it's garbage. Nobody cares. The other problem is that somebody can copy it in 5 like it took me 10 years to build it and then somebody else can just take some screenshots and then they're like so it's game over. It's freaking game over, man. Like think about if you're this huge software company like with like hundreds of millions of dollars, you're doing like a CRM, say you're Salesforce, and now suddenly Salesforce, because they had, they probably had some folks from Accenture, and they all have this like, what's the CRM, not the CRM, but the enterprise, what is it called? ERT or ER, I don't know what it's called, enterprise management, EM, whatever it's called, software that they use at Accenture. It was actually acquired by some other company. What are these words I'm trying to say? Which software do they use at Accenture? SAP. Who purchased SAP? Who owns SAP? That's exactly what I want to know is who owns SAP. Oh, no, it's SAP that purchased that other. Oh, okay, so you got SAP. All right, so suddenly all these like these software companies where like you used to have software that was just so difficult to create, and now you can one prompt it. Okay, so that means that this thing that I'm building is not the key. So then I thought, okay, well maybe it's social media. Like if I'm really good at doing social media, then I can drive traffic to this. And I would say yes, to some extent, yes. So actually developing like software isn't so important anymore. Having a thinking process is helpful, but AI can help you with the thinking process. You also have to develop your own thinking processes. I have a very clear thinking process, which is heavily influenced by Tom Buchholz's work from his book, Create Crucial Insight, and also the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coaching hours that I've experienced with real people, real managers managing real products and real projects. But at the end of the day, my new thesis is like, okay, so what if I have to pivot? What if the software piece of the software that I'm developing isn't, what if it can be copied instantly? Which obviously it can. So then your coding skills and game over. So then what is it? So I think it's storytelling and using node-based AI, video, and real development tools. That's the next thing I want to learn. Like AI's like, I mean, did you learn how to use AI to do coding? No, AI got good enough that they can do it without like, I mean, product development. Okay, so I have product development skills. Can you develop a product? And then what's after that? Can you produce traffic? Can you drive traffic for profit? All right, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to drive traffic for profit. All right, next page. Get out of my way. What are steps to accomplish the objective if you were to delegate it to someone else? Okay, drive traffic for profit. What are the steps? All right, so let's say that somebody is working for me. Hey, I want you to drive traffic for profit. It means that you have to be able to create posts which people watch repeatedly and share. There. All right, we can talk about this later. I gotta go. So I just wanted to do one more thing. I just want to put that in here. Create posts. And I'm gonna cube it. Research current. Okay, let's talk about this next time. I gotta go. Bye bye.